morning, everyone. All you drummers, accordion players, cello players, bongo players. Welcome to our second session of scales and chords. The last session we talked about major scales and how a major scale has the half steps between 3 and 4, 7 and 8, how the difference between certain scales with pentatonics and blues scales and those things aside, the difference between one scale to the next is where the two sets of half steps fall. And in a major scale, it's 3 and 4, 7 and 8, and that's basically what we covered in the last session. In this section, I want to move on to a minor scale. So instead of 3 and 4 and 7 and 8, as in the major scale, the minor scale, the half steps fall between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6. So let's take a look at that. Here's our piano. I hope you can see this. So let's start on C. So C would be the first degree because it's a C minor scale, and so D in the minor scale, D would be the 2. Oh, it's not working. D would be 2, and so since the half step falls between 2 and 3, you would go to the E flat, and there's our half step right there. And then it's a whole step between the 3 and the 4, so E flat to F, okay? And then a whole step between 4 and 5, so it'd be F, G. Half step between the 5 and the 6, so we go right up to the A flat, okay? And there's our other half step. And then a whole step between 6 and 7, and then 7 and 8 or 1 again, okay? And there you have it. And if we start, let's try another one. Boy, this is messy. Anyway, let's try E minor. So E would be 1. Whole step between 1 and the second degree, so it would be half step, whole step, so it would be F sharp, would be the second degree. And between 2 and 3 is a half step, so it would take us to the G. There's our half step. And then a whole step between 3 and 4, whole step between 4 and 5, half step between 5 and 6, so it would be C natural, between B and there it is, there's our other half step, and then D, okay, and then E again, back to 1 again. And that's your E minor scale. So you could start on any note knowing that the half steps fall between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 and build a natural minor. There's harmonic minor and I don't know, there's melodic minor, all that stuff. When I'm playing tunes and jazz and blues and pop music or whatever, I use natural minor a lot, and I use harmonic minor with the where the half step falls between 6 and 7 instead of 5 and 6. But we can get into that later. So when we're building, so there you have it. So if you go up the scale, we've all heard of Dorian mode, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. The easy way to understand that is if we start on C, that's Ionian mode for major, and then D would be our Dorian mode. D is Dorian, and you'll see if you just follow the white notes to the next D, you'll see that here's Dorian, here's the notes, 5, 6, 7, 8, where are the half steps falling? Right here and right here. So in Dorian's like minor a lot. That's that other key I was just talking about, where the half steps are from 6 and 7, 2 and 3. Like minor, it's a minor mode, okay? And then we have a more exotic mode. Maybe let's lift this up and do that. Okay. So the next one is Phrygian, which starts on E, ends on E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 again. Here's where the half steps fall, between 1 and 2, between 5 and 6. Okay? So that's Phrygian, and that's like this. That's Phrygian, okay? Between 1 and 2. There you go. One of my favorite ones that I love the most, and I use a lot, and that last one is a minor mode too. This next one is major mode, and it's Lydian. And Lydian starts on F and ends on F, with all the white keys, just for understanding. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. You'll see the half steps fall between 4 and 5 and 7 and 1. And remember we talked about major scale, the half steps fall between 3 and 4. Well, this is 5, 4, and 5, and it is a major mode. You hear this a lot. You'll hear 2, 5, 1. You hear that jazz chord a lot. And that is a 1 chord in F. So your 1 chord has, like in the key of C, our 1 chord has F natural, but also has F sharp because of the Lydian thing. But Lydian is so F major, F Lydian. Really nice sound. So you have that, and then we could continue on up the modes here. A, Aeolian, which is minor. So it would be 7, 1. So the half steps are going to fall between 2 and 3. It's a minor mode again. And 5 and 6. And that's the same as our natural minor mode. It's the same as that's a minor mode. And the last one is Locrian. And that's diminished. And we like to avoid diminished chords. We only use them when all else fails, or if you're going for an effect, you know. And you rubbed her, tied her up, you know, that kind of stuff. Oh, the egg timer. And we use diminished a lot for passing. Most of the time you see it as a passing chord, but it's a very ambiguous color. So here's Locrian, starting on B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 again. So your half step is between 1 and 2. Kind of like our Phrygian mode, and between 4 and 5. But it's a diminished. Typically that is the top end of a G9 chord, but we'll get into that later. So again, these are the modes, and the difference between one and the other are where those 2 sets of half steps fall. Okay? So in our next session, we're going to start trying to build some chords, diatonic meaning in the key. We're going to build some diatonic changes and talk about that, and possibly cover how chords relate to each other, how you can substitute like a 3 minor for, you know, certain chords are interchangeable. So anyway, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. All right.